just a professional. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing that. You understand?
What are you going to do now?
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna leave. I gotta go.
Go?
Yeah, I got.
Hey, come on. Yeah, what about me?
What about you? We got 40 seconds.
Come on.
45.
Last wish, please.
Last wish. I wish you had more time.
It's another week, another illustrious show with the people that you love. I'm Trae Price. This man over here across from me, Mr. Collin Brown.
Another week, same clothes. Coincidence? Maybe.
Bringing you the news with the Chit Chat podcast. The show's so good, you click the like button.
And that bell icon.
And shared it with your friends.
Yeah, we need money.
Collin!
Hey, what's up, Trae? What are we talking about today?
We're talking about people who, instead of begging for their money, actually have illustrious jobs. We're going to talk some cash.
Jobs?
Jobs.
In this economy?
In this economy.
With Miss Rona rolling around?
Clutch my pearls.
What job?
Acting. And some directing.
Oh, I thought all the actors died.
No,
they were all catching Rona as soon as they started going on set.
No.
They got money though.
Exactly. They got the
Never mind.
cure. we don't know nothing about that yet. Don't worry about that. We also probably have a few trailers, but we'll see how we get through the show.
Okay.
And the first one, let's just go ahead and do an update to an announcement that we did a couple of shows back. Me and you. We talked about how Ruby Rose was no longer Batwoman.
Oh yeah.
And how they were going to recast her. And I don't think you were on the show when we talked about this. How they're going.
Heard they recast it.
They're going to recast her instead of with somebody on the show with an entirely new character.
Okay.
So again, Batwoman has disappeared right after Batman disappeared. great storyline for the show. But they have recasted with Javicia Leslie as the new Batwoman. Person of color, still LGBT. Q plus.
No controversy, I'm assuming.
No
one complained on social media at all. I'm assuming. Well, that's good. That's good if that's true.
So,
but great. More representation is always good.
So the character she will be playing is Ryan Wilder.
They could have done a better name than that.
She is.
Let's get a person of color to play this character named Ryan Wilder.
Oh, well, wait till you listen to a description. Now, you don't know nothing about her. All right, let me tell you something bit about Ryan. All right, Ryan is street smart. All right, she is a survivor whose past is littered with grim circumstances as she learned to navigate the dark streets of Gotham alone, doing whatever it took to make it through the day.
Let me just ask one question. You might not have the answer to this.
Okay.
So great, we have a person of color acting as our main protagonist. Was the writer a person of color?
I do not have that. I believe it was there is a article about that. I feel like I read it. I should have that answer.
Anytime there's a character that's a person of color and it to me smacks of being written by a white person that just really wants to make that like pulling up your bootstraps storyline. I'm always like, all right, every story. I mean, and this is maybe not for me to say. I'm a white man. This is just my opinion. Say what you think.
Okay.
I don't think every black character needs to necessarily have had the worst childhood in history.
They don't need to come from the streets.
No, they don't have to. Believe it or not, there's a couple. There's like two that didn't do that.
In all of America, yes. Their names are Will Smith.
And Barack Obama.
Exactly.
No, like seriously though, like even to me who like, I'm a white dude, like these issues don't really affect me. I'm even getting to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm noticing it, where it just feels like every time you make a younger black female character specifically, it feels like they always know how to go through the streets. They know the guys work in the corners and they've got a couple friends that help them like navigate it.
Right.
And it's just very generic and just done to death at this point. Now, it's not saying that you can't have a person of color come from a rough background. That's fine. But that's kind of one reason why I liked into the Spider-Verse so much was because like Miles
He
was
had a
just
normal
he was
home
just from a
life.
even his uncle who was supposed to be like a criminal was like kind of like a upper class like
Yeah.
criminal like
They out here
pulling
hanging out in the
big,
apartment,
big heists and shit.
playing with a punching
And I
bag.
really appreciated that they just made Miles a normal kid.
Yeah.
You know,
So they've done that in a lot of comics. I think it is definitely a misstep. You're right here with this. But I mean, like Moon Girl, when she was introduced, she was basically that same way as Miles, where she's a normal character that just so happens to be a genius.
I feel like DC's already just kind of bad about that in general, or they have to have all of their characters come from just some sort of tragedy. And I know that's a superhero.
Universe.
I know that's a superhero aesthetic or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but that's kind of what I like about a lot of these younger characters from the Marvel stuff, like Miles and Kamala Khan, and that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fuck that up.
No.
And Sam Alexander's, they're just kind of normal kids.
Yeah.
That become like legacy heroes.
Something happens.
And I think that's cool. Because, I mean, you think about like a lot of white characters that start off as teenagers just kind of got lucky and became heroes.
I found this helmet. Now I'm Nova.
Yeah.
I
like
got this jewel.
Like
now I'm
obviously
Darkstar.
like obviously Peter Parker's uncle gets shot and that sucks. But like comparatively, like
basically the outlier.
Yeah.
Like, Tony Stark, he rich.
Hal Jordan just found out he found a fucking ring. he found a mood ring.
Captain America took drugs. Like that's
Captain America was a white guy with blonde hair, blue eyes in the 40s. Wow.
And yet he did have hardships. He was
did
fighting
take
people
drugs
with trash can lids.
But see, like even with that though, there's a black character in the Marvel comics that was like the first one, but they kidnapped him and they did a bunch of unethical things on him, and it's like
Isaiah Bradley.
I think that's his nephew or grandkid that is Patriot. I think Eli's the older one.
I thought Eli was the younger one.
I think Eli's the old one. We'll fact check that.
We'll fact check that.
Future Trae. Down here. Anyways. And again, that's not for me to say, like, but I feel like it's something that's gone on in cinema a lot recently, where there's just a lot of these films about black people having it hard in like the 40s that are just kind of Oscar bait, and it's like that's one reason why I like Dope. I really appreciated Dope. Right. Even though like it kind of played into like drug dealers and stuff.
It did, but
they were still just normal kids, like in a wacky situation. It was kind of fun, And I appreciate, make more than one type of movie. Yeah. Another great example, Detroit, is it just Detroit? About the
hotel.
Yeah.
And
like
with Joey Bodega.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like normal black people.
Yeah, they were
and then
singing and
John
shit.
Boyega is a cop. But they're literally normal people, but because of a circumstance they can't change, which is that they're black, they get in a really fucked up situation. It's not because they're thugs or because they're... That's a little more true to life than I was born black, everyone I know sells crack. Like, I feel like...
As a black person, only half the people we know sell crack.
Again, I don't want to overstep my bounds.
No, and honestly, you're saying,
and I'd rather, opinion, and I was gonna say, I'd rather hear. I think the viewers too would rather hear your opinion on it.
Allow me not to speak for the whole black community, because I believe a lot of the time when you look at one black person, they are supposed to speak for the whole black community. I do not, because I usually say the wrong shit. So allow me to say that you're saying a lot of good stuff. You're not wrong about a lot of this. A lot of this does happen, and I think if we normalize it in the media, like you were saying, that would normalize it out here in the real world. Because a lot of times what we see on TV, like people still think Africans are out, in the bushes with no shoes and stuff, needing $5 a day from Sarah McLachlan. Like that ain't happening.
They work at McDonald's too.
Exactly. Do you want a Big Mac? Like,
have you seen that Pizza Hut at the foot of the pyramids, dude? Like,
bruh, who you think running that?
I do think it's funny that people assume Africa is just huts.
Yes, man.
I didn't even think about that.
So I know everything you say has weight, has that value. Like I honestly, if in this specific situation, I think it doesn't make sense that they didn't cast somebody. They didn't replace Batwoman with a character in the show.
That is kind of strange. I haven't watched the show, so I don't know like if there's any characters maybe that are strong enough on their own.
I feel like no, they have literally set women up beside Kate that could literally just jump in. There is a person of color who literally has social ties, who has romantic ties to Kate.
If you want to take me off the field to launch this app, fine. But if you're using it to distract me while you and everyone else are trying to take out Batwoman,
Why would I need to do that, Agent Moore?
Who, if she were to disappear like that, suddenly
Would probably want to investigate.
Would probably want to investigate, take her place, take up the mantle. Easily could have been this person. Easily could have been this person taking the mantle, and nobody would have batted.
I don't even watch this shit. They wouldn't have batted an eye. Hey,
cancel the whole
click that button, that bell button, like us
for this quality content.
Yeah, you'll get to hear about white dudes being woke and spouting bad puns.
Allies. That was the stiffest profile. Yeah, brother.
Sorry, I had congestion.
No,
I had wings last night.
Oh,
yeah,
hot wings.
Yeah.
But no, I truly don't understand the decision making here.
I will say though, last episode we ragged on the CW a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they've done a fairly decent job in the CW Arrowverse of being pretty like diverse to an extent. I mean, it's still a lot of white people, like just pretty white people, but I feel like they've made efforts to be like Ant-Man. We're talking too much about DC, checking on those Marvel checks.
We gotta do that.
But I feel like they've done a pretty good job about being fairly diverse, both with race and sexuality and things
I mean, with
like
the other
that.
DC Arrowverse shows like Legends of Tomorrow, you literally have a bisexual female captain leading the show.
And I honestly think that's been their most consistently good show.
Yes.
And I think that's a part of it is you've got a very diverse cast, but they feel like just regular people that get along. And I really appreciate that. It feels the least like a CW show.
Yeah.
In that way. So I think they need to lean more into that. And hopefully this is a step towards that. I don't know what else this actress has been in.
She was actually on a CBS show called
No.
So when you get a friend suggestion, you have to figure out how to help them?
Yeah. And it's not easy.
Friended me.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I hope she does a good job.
So
let's
she walked
look at
her way over
look at the
here.
name, of the show. That was not going to do that great from the get go.
Got 2
Anyways,
seasons.
that's pretty
Which is
good.
surprising these days. Yeah.
Well, good thing they weren't on Fox. Anyways, I hope she does a good job. I hope that she does not receive a whole lot of hate from the internet, which is prone to happen with these things for no reason.
And from the look of it, she seems to be happy that she got the role.
Cool.
Obviously,
No, that's awesome for her. And like I would say with anything with superheroes specifically, I always think it's good for young kids to have superheroes
that looks like them.
And
they can
not to say they they have to look at someone they look like to identify with them. Like Peter Parker, I feel like is a pretty. I feel like if anyone can identify, but I do think representation's important because when you see someone that looks like you on screen, it's good. It's and I think even for white kids, seeing a diverse group of people being heroes is important because it does show like anyone can be anyone they want to be. Anyone can wear the mask. Literally, probably one of the best taglines for anything in the last 10 years with the way things have been going. So I think this is good. I think more things like this need to happen. I think more things like this are happening. Again, I just hope that they put a creative team that is that has that identity, writing for that identity.
Yeah,
I think that's important.
A lot of this, I don't want it to seem like I'm coming down on the actress. I'm really not. I'm happy that they're doing this. I'm happy that they're able to, jump and go through the strides in order to get this, person of color on there, of different sexual background. That's all great. My thing is coming from a story standpoint. I
doesn't
feel
make
like
sense.
It doesn't. They're gonna have to do a lot of like written gymnastics to get over.
Maybe it'll be the other black character that you said it should be. Maybe it's like her cousin and maybe she dies.
You know what?
When she gets kidnapped, or something.
If that is a thing, if she's like,
I haven't watched this show, so I don't know if that makes any sense.
I don't think that's gonna be what's gonna happen. Also, with the other thing of the CW shows last season, because of Corona, having to end their shows 3 or 2 episodes earlier.
You know, a group they could introduce into the show that I feel like they could use to make anything make sense, and it's just a group of comic book characters that I feel like would make a lot of sense for a CW type show. Court of Owls. Bring Court of Owls to Batwoman, and I feel like you'd have a really solid group of... And that Court of Owls makes sense to me as a CW, like a bunch of rich muckety mucks. Like, that's like every CW villain. And you could somehow play that into...
You haven't watched much Gotham, have you?
No.
They actually did bring the Court of Owls
really?
to Gotham. Yeah.
I need to watch Gotham, because I've heard generally good things.
Don't remember if they brought the Talons along with them, which if they go hand in hand, but the Court of Owls definitely did show up.
If they wrote that in, I feel like you could make a lot of things work just purely by having a group of puppet masters like that.
Right.
Like maybe have her backstory really tied in with the Court of Owls or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Maybe she's an ex-Talon.
Yeah.
You know?
Go for it.
Yeah.
There you go. CW hire us.
So we're gonna move on from DC stuff, and we do have to appease our Marvel masters,
of course.
You know, we gotta write them. If they writing us checks, look,
checks in the mail.
We don't have enough subscribers to get paid by YouTube, so we gotta get paid by somebody. We're gonna do this Marvel dance real quick. Disney Plus got all those slew of shows coming out. I feel like they're announcing more superhero shows than I have time to read them. You got freaking WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier,
Shehulk,
the Hawkeye show,
Miss Marvel,
Moon Knight,
the one I'm excited for.
All these things are happening, but they're happening slow because of coronavirus. But now we got some more updates. Got new casting. That Shehulk. Somebody gonna be looking a little green. And everybody wanted it to be
Allison
Brie.
Yeah.
Which I would love.
I would have been fine with that.
I would have loved that.
A lot of people wanted her, and a lot of people wanted what's her face from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Stephanie Beatriz.
There it is.
Yeah, she would have been dope.
Thank you for having that, because I did not have her name.
Yeah.
A lot of people also wanted Rosario Dawson.
Is she already on that Mandalorian though? She's not allowed to be on 2 Disney Plus shows. That's too much stock in the company.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Too much insider trading.
Yeah.
So we got who it actually is going to be. We finally got that casting. And you know who it's going to be? Tatiana Maslany.
Orphan Black.
Orphan Black. I did mess up the name, but Tatiana from Orphan Black is going to be playing.
Great casting.
Yes.
I've only seen a few episodes of Orphan Black. Seemed really good.
Well, let me tell you.
Seems like great casting.
Tatiana Maslany. I'm going to mess up her name every single time.
Tatiana. We're first name basis.
Oh, okay. Well, you are. I'm trying to be proud.
Well, no. Remember, we were supposed to interview her, and then they canceled.
You know. Right. Tatiana, get back with me. Hey, boss down, Tatiana. Hey. I
didn't do that.
I want to see you boss down. Anyway.
I want to ask you actual questions.
This is going to be the whole interview. This is why we can't interview Tatiana. I'm going to just say that song. But no, she is an excellent actress. Like, if you keep watching Orphan Black, go back, rewatch it.
I will.
The fact that she plays every single one of those clones, because if you don't know Orphan Black is a show about her, this character, and finding out that she has a bunch of clone versions of herself. A gaggle of clones. Literally just a team of clones. And Tatiana Maslany, plays every single one.
And they all have really different personalities. Yeah.
So different. And then on extra levels, there are sometimes when the clones have to act like other clones. So it's her acting like somebody else, acting like somebody. The levels of this girl's acting is underrated.
I think this is why Marvel is genius, is because they know they don't have to get box office stars. They get actors and actresses that have been on really well received shows or whatever that need that extra step.
I have always said that Marvel always gets
genius,
those stars and starlets that are
about to break out.
Yeah, they're just right there
because you don't have to pay them that much.
Exactly,
but people are still be like, "Holy shit, they got Orphan Black! What?"
And then they do gangbusters.
And that's still why I think that Moon Knight's going to be old Mr. Robot.
Oh God.
Well, he kind of blew up though because of Bohemian
movie,
Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Maybe he might be too much.
Nah, it's gonna be somebody else. We'll see in the coming days.
You know who I
it
really
might be.
secretly hope it is,
Who?
just because it'd be fucking wild. Have you heard all the different like names people have thrown out for
No.
Moon Knight?
Not for Moon Knight, no.
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh God, I think I've heard that one.
I'd love that.
I feel like I've heard
That'd
that
be
one.
wild.
I don't know about that
I'd
one.
love that.
I don't know if I want Shia LaBeouf as my Mr. Knights, man.
Chaos, dude.
I don't know. I don't have a casting right now who I want as Mr. Knight. That ain't one of them. You know, he can play one of his crazy like all shoot personalities.
You know what I would actually love is Mr. Knight. Dude that played he was in Watchmen, and did you watch the new Watchmen series?
Oh no, not the Watchmen. I thought you meant the movie.
Have you not watched the Watchmen series?
Not yet. I haven't.
It's the best show last year.
I'm sorry, man.
Well, I can't say who the dude is because I can't remember what else he's been in,
Okay.
and I can't say who he is on the show. Well, he's the main character's husband,
Okay.
but he's really good. And you know, Egyptian people. Moon Knight plays a lot into Egyptian culture and stuff.
Right.
Egyptians were black. I mean, Middle Eastern / black. They were
Okay.
kind of so. You know, in the comics, he's just kind of a white dude.
Right.
If you want a extra little bit of inclusivity,
Do that.
go for it. And the dude's a great actor. He
Okay.
blew me away on that show.
I might have to look up who you are talking about. Spoil it.
Watch The Watchmen.
Watch The Watchmen.
Who watches The Watchmen?
Trey will.
Trey will.
But no, speaking of Tatiana Maslany,
Yeah.
in this role, I think it is great. We don't know exactly how they're going to do. One, we don't know how they're going to do the effects for She-Hulk. If it's going to be old school Bruce, David Banner,
After
Lou Ferrigno.
No, honestly, after seeing what they were able to do with Chris Evans, this little tiny boy,
Mm-hmm.
I got faith.
Yeah,
It'll be a mix. It'll be a nice
think it will
mix.
be.
Yeah.
it'll be funny to see her walking around with the little She-Hulk thing for her CGI.
I just want to
mocap.
see her. I just want to see her in that pantsuit when she's doing her lawyer business.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
I'm ready.
And that's another thing I'm kind of wondering myself because I've been reading
Uh-huh.
a lot more She-Hulk recently. And I know before like these current issues, she was always She-Hulk. Like she could transform back. She just never did.
She never did.
Always had
And she broke the
control of
fourth
it.
wall a lot.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're gonna do that or she's gonna transform back and forth. Like that's
Yeah.
you know?
It's one of the
Um,
shows I'm more interested in because
yeah.
She-Hulk's really like under recognized
She's
Marvel
a really
character.
interesting. I think
Yeah.
she's a really interesting character. I don't know if she's under because she's
I didn't-
fairly popular.
I didn't want to say underappreciated, but I feel like general public is going to hear there's a She-Hulk show coming and go, they're just trying to make women happy. And it's like, no, She-Hulk's
I feel
just
like she's really popular.
really good character.
She was in the Fantastic Four, which is so
It- In the comics, right?
yeah.
How many of these people watching the MCU read the comics?
After Endgame, a lot
More. I'm just saying,
lot
like, how
more.
many people knew Bucky was Winter Soldier before Winter Soldier?
That's a good question.
Not a lot.
That's a good question.
Not a lot. The way that shot, they knew. They're like, oh, Billy from Arkansas, he's going to be fucking blown away. He'd be like,
just
that's that
saying.
boy from that first movie.
That's what I'm saying. And it was amazing.
It was great.
But no.
But She-Hulk, one of the ones I'm like really pumped about that one, Ms. Marvel and Moon Knight.
Mhm.
Those are the three I'm like pumped for.
Man.
I'm excited for all of them, honestly.
Same. I'm really excited for that Falcon Winter Soldier. I can't wait. I can't wait for my boy to come back as Zemo.
True.
I want to see what he got planned.
I think they're just building up towards a bunch of different, like, I think Thunderbolts is going to be a thing, and I feel like that's where Zemo's
I
going
can't wait.
towards. I feel like they're really building up Young
If this
Avengers.
does well. We definitely probably will see like a Red Hulk, Thunderbolts, Red Hulk.
He getting kind of
Thunderbolts.
old though.
He
is he
is.
going to be around long? Like,
He don't really need to do much.
I guess.
Look, once again, if they do the She-Hulk series where she's always She-Hulk, you know, that CGI
yeah.
or whatever technology that they have from Mark Ruffalo.
Honestly, with the de-aging technology too, I feel like there's probably just not a whole
He
lot
can
they
do-
can't pull off.
He literally just needs to be in the mocap and just doing. He don't even need to be in mocap.
They need to
they
take
have his
pictures of
face.
him and let him do this.
They can do that same shit they did for like the twins in
I'll
Social
get
Network.
you, Banner. That's all he's got to do.
That's all he gotta do is just he put in a speaking spell. He'll do it. That's all you gotta do. So I'm really interested how to do it and how they adapt the story.
I don't know a whole lot of She-Hulk storylines other than that she's a lawyer and fights people sometimes.
She-Hulk got her start when she was, like, she's a lawyer.
Yeah.
She got in with the mob.
She's Bruce Banner's cousin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Jennifer Walters, I think is her name.
She got into this case that had to do with the mob. The mob came, shot her up pretty much. Bruce gave her a blood transfusion, which of course turned her into the ever-loving She-Hulk. And unfortunately, like her cousin, she was able to keep it under control and just started being awesome while he's out here just on the run.
I'm excited. I'm glad that we're getting some more goofy characters in the MCU.
Yeah.
Because it got like really dark there towards like...
Oh, you mean when people just started dying and stuff?
Yeah, like I feel like all of Phase 3 except for Ragnarok was real dark. And Ant-Man and the Wasp. I feel like everything was like real heavy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, all right, yeah, let's get some goofy. Like Excelsior shit.
It's gonna be dope. But you spoke on something to me. This fly that's been buzzing around, been telling me to tell. Seriously?
Yes.
So, like I said, this fly buzzing around told me to tell you that the Ant-Man and Wasp #3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they found that star. Now it's gonna be really interesting for you who that star is playing.
I think it will be.
Jonathan Majors of Lovecraft Country, The Five Bloods.
Who he playing?
Kang, the Conqueror.
The Conqueror.
This is strange to me. This is a strange
You can
choice.
use that word with Marvel, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You're
allowed.
allowed.
I appreciate that.
Why is it a strange choice?
Because Kang to me is a Avengers level threat.
Okay, I want to go into some... I'm going to put on the nerd,
Put on the nerd goggles.
So, the general consensus right now is that Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 will set up the Young Avengers.
That is
a highly touted theory because there's a lot of characters from the Young Avengers being introduced. One of those characters is old Scott Lang's daughter.
Right.
Who becomes... Stature.
Older at the end of Endgame, right?
And one of the characters from the Young Avengers is Iron Lad, who we find out is a young version
of
Kang the Conqueror, and also maybe Reed Richards' dad. There's some weird time fuckery where Kang the Conqueror's Iron Lad as a child's name is the same as Reed Richards' dad's name. So like there's there's been a few times where he's been like, I'm your dad, Reed. And so I don't know if they'll do all that. But if they did, that makes me question, like, are they going to make Reed Richards a man of color?
Got some news for you.
Oh, really?
Apparently, along with, Young Justice.
Great show. Watch it on HBO now.
But other than the Young Avengers being introduced through, like Scott Lang's daughter, and, possibly, we'll talk about that in a second. Apparently, Fantastic Four might get introduced here too.
That'd be a great movie to introduce them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing some time travel shenanigans.
Make Ant-Man 3 a Civil War level movie.
Yeah.
He needs it. He deserves it.
Again, this is strange to me that this is happening like this.
Do it.
I think out of anybody, if you'd have asked me like Kang introducing Fantastic Four and stuff like that, I would have never picked Ant-Man. You would think with all the Quantumverse stuff, that would be a thing.
But really weird because I feel like the movies on their own like really don't have a whole lot of substance towards the rest of the universe, but there's themes and like ideas in them that are very important for everything. So like, yeah, give him a big one.
I feel that.
And then after that, I don't know if you really use the character much anymore. I'm curious if they write him off in this one or have him like retire.
Right? Who? Kang
Scott Lang. Yeah. Okay. Have him retire.
Yeah.
Or maybe
do that.
Maybe he leads the Young Avengers and that's their version of like the West Coast Avengers. It's like all these young characters.
They tried that. No, they tried Great Lakes Avengers.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a show for a time. Yeah. Okay.
But no, because then you've got old Kate Bishop.
So what I was gonna say was that along, the typical Young Avengers that we know, what I mean, is, Patriot, Kate Bishop stature.
I feel like
Iron
Patriot's
Lad.
the only one they're not gonna use, which is really weird to me.
So, well, I think that what they might do is instead of doing like all new, all different Avengers, how they came out, that was Miss Marvel, Miles Morales, Sam Alexander Nova, Cat Falcon, all that. Instead, do Young Avengers with Kamala. Miles.
Yeah, I mean they can
or not Miles, Peter, because he's still young.
Yeah, they can interweave a lot of these characters together. Yeah, they've got a lot to work with, and I mean the good thing about the MCU is you can really combine these characters in whatever combinations you want. I mean, they can do whatever they want, and it's gonna work. I mean, yeah, like you want to adhere to the comics a little bit, but no one.
Well, that's the best thing about the MCU is that they don't really do that. They take the comics and they make it into their own flair.
Pick bullet points and then weave it into the greater storyline.
I remember I was upset as I don't know what when I was watching Winter Soldier, and it turned out Pierce, whatever his freaking name wasn't secretly the Red Skull the entire time, like it was in the comics. Like that, I was like, oh my god, watch this, man. He's gonna take his face off. It's gonna be red. He never do that. I was like, thought it's gonna be red. Shut.
And then he got shot in the head.
Exactly.
And, and then Red Skull did come back, and you were like, what? He's a space ghost.
I'm not even gonna. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, kind of wasted
the Red Skull. That's one of my only complaints.
Yep.
Only complaints.
They wasted a lot of those Phase 1 villains.
This man out here on Vornir chilling.
Just what's he doing now?
Out here babysitting. He house sitting.
They could bring him back.
They could.
Yeah.
But whatever. All right.
Well, any other news from Marvel Land? Okay.
That's it. That's all the Marvel news we got. That's it. Cool. That's all the time we got for the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of cool news today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wrote it myself. All of it.
You know, did the casting. What?
I did the casting.
What'd you write?
I wrote the Facebook.
Whoa.
That's where you can find the shows. If you don't look on the YouTubes now, you can share it out with your friends on Facebook. You can share it out with your family on Facebook. Don't be sharing no cat pictures. No, share us. Your grandma wants to hear from us.
No one wants to see memes of Mitch McConnell or any of these schlubs. We want memes of Trae's face. Cut the check.
Let me take a selfie.
Okay, but well,
shut up. You can also ring that bell. Give us a like, subscribe to this channel because we don't just have these podcasts. We got other stuff. We got short films.
Yeah.
We got other things that we're gonna be doing so that I can say other things that there actually are other things.
Like short films.
Like short films. I think we got stuff. We got stuff on the way. It's gonna be fun. Do it. Do the things. Go to the iTunes. Collin,
you turn a little Cosby there for a second. We got the things coming out in the next couple months.
Not affiliated with Bill Cosby at all, even though sometimes the members sound like Bill Cosby. Collin, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on the Twitch.
Oh, no.
You can find me on twitch.tv /whatever CEBBERS. I never stream, but I might. You might get lucky. You might see me streaming some Among Us.
People have been talking about that game.
It's fun. It's free on the phone and $5 on Steam. Buy it.
Wow. You can find me on Letterboxd /King Price for life. Sometimes I talk about movies and rate movies that we don't always cover on the movie club. So check that out. Do the thing, and we'll see you later.
Next time.
Got juice.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.